Welcome to Coding with Nivesh. I am Nivesh, and in this tutorial session, we will be writing a Google app script that will help us find duplicate files in our folder inside of our drive and then delete them very easily. So let's get started. We are here in our script home. Now we will create a new app script. It is an independent script that's going to target a particular folder that we will check out in a minute. And let's just first create the script and we will name it duplicate files remover. And we will create a constant named folder ID. This folder ID is going to hold the value of the ID of our file, which has couple of files that are duplicate, as you can see here, b_1 png, b_2 png, and such. And let's just copy the ID from the URL and then paste it here. Now with this done, we will create a function named remove duplicate files, which, as the name suggests, is going to be responsible for searching for the duplicate files and then removing them from the folder. And it's not going to delete them completely, it's just going to remove them from this folder to trash. Now we will get the folder by using driveapp.getFolderById. After that, we will get the files in that folder with get files, and then we will also create a list named file list. I'll talk about how we are using this files list in a moment. For now, let's just create this list, and then after this we will check that if the folder is empty or not. This folder.getFiles gives a iterator. We can check if the folder is empty or not with files.hasNext. It will return true if the folder has any content in it. If not, it's going to return false. And if the folder is empty, we're just going to return from here. After this, if the folder is not empty, then we're gonna loop through the folder with while loop. So let's go through this loop. First, we will get the file itself with files.next, which returns the next item in the iterator. And then we will also get the name and size of the file, because we're using the logic that if the file name and the size of that file are same, then they are duplicate. That's how we're determining if something is duplicate or not. And you can check out the details in this documentation where there are many methods and functions provided by Google App Script. And as you can see, we can get the folder.hasNext, get files, it returns a file iterator, and that file iterator has three functions: get continuation token, hasNext, and next. The hasNext returns a boolean, next returns the file itself. So we'll now console log name and size. And so now let's run this function using Ctrl+R. And of course, we're gonna have to give permission because we are accessing a folder and we're checking out names and sizes. So we're gonna have to give permission to see and download all the files in Google Drive. And as you can see, the name of the files and then their sizes, b_1 and size is 2.1 MB. But the size here is different because it's in bytes. In folder, it was in megabytes. That's why it looks different, but it's the same size. So after this, we will check if the current file is duplicate or not using isDuplicateFile function, which we haven't created yet, but we will create it in a moment. So basically what it does, it takes three parameters. The first one is the file list, which we created earlier and which we're gonna fill the values in a moment. It's going to take that file list and it's going to take the name and the size of the current file in the while loop. We're gonna talk about how this duplicate files works when we're creating that one, but for now let's just say that each duplicate file will return true if the file is duplicate. If not, it's going to return false. And of course, if the file is duplicate, then we will remove the file to trash using setTrash. That is also one of the methods provided by AppScript. And if the file is not duplicate, then we will post the file to the files list. And the files list is going to be a nested array, and each array will be consist of two items inside them. They are name and size of the current file. So the logic is that whenever the files goes through the loop, we're checking in such a way that if statement never returns true for the first ever file. So it always goes to else statement. So in that way, whenever we run the loop, it won't delete the first ever file. And then from the second loop, we will check if the file in the current loop is the same as the file that was pushed previously. So in such a way, there will always the only unique item in the file list, erase. Let's add an docstring for this function as well. Now we will create a function isDuplicateFile, and as I mentioned earlier, it's going to have 3 parameters, files list, and then the name and size of the current file in the loop. So we will loop through the files list and check that if the items in the files list have the same name and same size as the file name and file size that we got as the parameters. If they are same, then this is proven that the current file in the while loop is duplicate. Then that's why we return true. If not, we'll just get out of this loop and we will return false. In this way, we can determine if the current file in the while loop is duplicate or not. With this, our function is ready to be tested. Now let's run the remove duplicate files function. And of course, we're going to have to give permission again because now we want to delete the file if it is duplicate. So we're going to have to ask different permission like edit, delete, and create files. So it's a different permission. Let's check out the console log. As you can see, it has found some duplicate files like b_4, 3, 2, 1. And let's check if it has deleted the files in the folders or not. We're gonna have to reload this folder. And as you can see, all the duplicate files are deleted. Just to make sure, let's check out trash, and all the deleted files are here. So now we know that our function is working. Now we're gonna have to set a trigger so that this function runs in automation. We don't have to manually run it again and again. It's such a hassle. So let's set up a trigger. To do so, we're gonna have to go to Triggers tab and then press Add Trigger. In here, we're gonna have to select the function that we want to run in the trigger, that is remove duplicate files. And then we're gonna have to select the event. Either it is time-driven or calendar-driven. We're going to choose time-driven because we want to run this function repeatedly after a certain time. You can select the range of the trigger. Maybe you want to run every minute, every hour, every week. But I want to run it just once a day, so I'm going to select day timer. You can also select the time when the trigger is supposed to run. I'm just going to pick the time when I'm not actively using the Google Drive, that is during midnight. So I'm going to select midnight to 1 a.m. and then I'm going to hit the save, and now our trigger is created and it is a time-based trigger. And with this, our function will run automatically every day around midnight. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and share it with your friends. If you're already not subscribed, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel as well. I'll be releasing new videos twice every month so that you won't miss out. Thank you for watching again.